Welcome, my friends, to the Bob and Brad podcast. My name is Mike Keenitz, and today I'm interviewing Jordan, who has her bachelor's in exercise science, master's in nutrition, and is a certified personal trainer. She also does the follow-along exercise videos on the Bob and Brad channel. And today we are talking about getting back on track after the holidays. So, without further ado, here's Jordan. All right, next question. What's a good strategy for someone struggling with self-control when it comes to diet and nutrition?
So first of all, don't rely on self-control because we are as humans very bad at that. This is personal opinion now. This is not like facts coming out of a textbook. So I'm here to share with you what I find works for myself, but also with the large number of clientele that I work with, what works for them as well. Get it out of the house. That's such a simple answer, but don't have it there. As far as self-control when it comes to diet and nutrition specifically. So we're only human. We can't solely rely on our self-control as a method to not eat the food. So if you know that you struggle with like salty cravings at night, like don't have the bag of chips in the house, right? Because most of the time when those cravings come up, at least this is what I find, like it's at night after the day has slowed down, you have more time to sit and be bored and think. Most of the time at night though, you're cozied in, like you're not going to go out of your way and go to the grocery store and buy the bag of chips. However, if it's in your pantry, you're probably going to eat it. Right.
Right.
That's what I find anyways is my biggest tip to help myself stay under control with food is I don't have, again, I said, I'm only human too. So I understand the struggles people can have with this. But I just don't keep the stuff in my house. I keep the stuff in my house that I want to fuel my body with. And then, I like cookies. I like ice cream a lot. I love chips and salsa. I love all those foods, but so if I have them there, I am absolutely going to eat them, especially at nighttime after my child goes to sleep and I'm relaxing and watching Netflix. Like the chips and salsa sound pretty darn good. However, I am certainly not going to go get in my car, start it up, and drive to the grocery store. So just keep it out of your house.
Yeah, I would say not having it there. And then if you have it there, like back in the day, if I'd have ice cream, I never would buy like a container of ice cream. I would just buy a small pint. Because then it's like you can't have any more. It's gone.
Right.
And now I have alternatives. So like because I know I used to like ice cream a lot, I have Greek yogurt with protein powder and berries in it because it's sweet and it's not like ice cream, but my palate has changed so much. Like it's just something different to eat, and so I don't crave anything else.
That's a really good tip too, as far as the self-control. So not just about living in this state of self-deprivation the entire time, but having those healthier alternatives. For myself, I love chips and salsa. So instead I could maybe find a better option than like a corn tortilla chip fried in processed seed oils, which I do have around my house. Some Siete chips and salsa do me in just fine, things of that nature, rather than thinking, depriving yourself of everything that is good in life. Having those healthy alternatives, that's a good strategy as well.
Yeah, I like to have, when I was a kid, I used to eat a lot of snacks and junk food. So I like to, believe it or not, people that didn't know me, I was quite overweight when I was a child for a long time. So I know what it's like, but oftentimes after dinner, I buy these little like ketogenic friendly peanut butter cups.
Okay.
They're like single size. They're just like 80 calories and they don't affect my blood sugar negatively. And that's just what I have. And it just works for me. Like it's something sweet and subtle. And
done.
Yeah, I don't need it. They're individually wrapped.
Well, that's perfect.
And because they're, healthier, they're more expensive. So I don't feel like eating a bunch of them because they're pricey. So for me, it's just like, oh, I just have this. I mean, if people eat other foods, I mean, you can just buy like dark chocolate or anything else, but something you like. I mean, you could have berries too or fruit if you eat carbs and stuff. So
yes,
for me, that's just what works. It's like something subtly sweet after dinner, just.
And then it kind of does for me. I find too, because I'm a like have a square of dark chocolate after dinner kind of gal. I find then like I feel done. Like
yeah,
I feel like I can go brush my teeth and be done for the night. It feels more complete, I guess. So,
Yeah. And eat it after you eat a meal.
yeah.
Don't eat sweets as a meal. That doesn't work.
No, I'm not quite as well. No.
Okay. What are your best tips for planning ahead to help keep people on track?
So I'm a big fan and proponent of meal planning. Now, I don't mean meal planning. I'll kind of define what I mean by this. It doesn't mean you have to lay out exactly a perfect menu for every single day of the week as you go about, but at least have a general sense. Like I can tell you what I'm having for dinner tomorrow night. Like I at least plan 2 or 3 days out so that I have that food in my house. So the big advantage here is if you have the food in your house and you've set forth somewhat of a plan, you are way less likely to steer off of that. So for example, like if you bought all of the stuff to make a chicken stir fry, right? For dinner, you have all the veggies in your fridge. The chicken is thawed out in your refrigerator. Like, who wants to waste food? It's insanely expensive these days. So you're not going to waste it. You're most likely going to eat it. However, on the flip side, if you have zero plan, like if you asked me what I was having for dinner tonight and I have no idea, it's 1:00 and I work tonight until 6:30. What's going to happen? I'm probably going to reach for convenience because I don't have a plan. So I already know what is for dinner. I already have the vegetables like chopped up in a bowl in my refrigerator. The meat is thawing. So when I get home, it's very easy for me to just cook that quick and I don't have to think about it. So I'm a huge fan of planning. It doesn't need to be, it depends on your lifestyle, right? Your lifestyle is different than mine, which is different than another person who's working out of the house from 8 to 5 every day. But you need to find something that works for you and come up with a plan, at least for the majority of your meals, so that you have the food in your house and maybe you even have it semi-prepped.
Yeah, when I used to work in the clinics with Bob and Brad Moore, I would meal prep Monday through Friday lunches. So I always had those cooked on Sunday. So all I had to do was heat it up at work because
Yep.
I didn't have a long lunch. Now, I'll cook something. I usually cook a meal. I make sure I have enough for like anywhere from 2 to 4 days afterwards because
Yep.
I'm not super ambitious to cook all the time. And I
Yeah.
have no problem reheating food. So, I mean, that's what I do. And so it's kind of like a meal prep strategy. And I always make sure I have enough food that I would constantly eat supplied in the house.
Yes.
That's healthy. So if like I'm running low but not out and I go to the store on the weekend, like I know just to restock and constantly keep stuff there. Cause yeah, in the past, if my girlfriend doesn't meal prep very much and she's kind of I'm gonna go get Culver's for dinner tonight. She just goes and does
Yeah.
something. But yeah, I'm a preparer.
Prepper. That's what I have found to be the most successful tool for myself, but also like individuals that I work with. I actually give them meal plans because it's just people are more successful when you just here's your structure, here's your layout. If it's helpful, like I don't necessarily do it exactly like this, but if it's helpful for people, like literally print out a weekly calendar, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, however you want to do it, and write it out. And then make your grocery list, or people probably do that on their phone now. I write stuff still, but whatever. There's probably an app for that. I don't know. But really sit and think about it. And then, because I don't fall into this anymore because I'm pretty good at like planning and sticking to it. But when I used to not do that and I didn't plan for something, and then if my husband, who wanted to try to sabotage us, would bring up like, ooh, pizza sounds kind of good. Well, if I didn't have anything planned, oh yeah, you're right. Pizza does sound good. However, now if he said that, like, no, I already have this, like already ready to go. So we're not going to do that. So I think planning is powerful when it comes to food. Now, on that same note, because we've been talking a lot about food, I also think planning to keep you on track also can fall into your workout life. So I like to suggest to people that are having a hard time staying in a consistent workout routine, like literally write your workouts on your calendar or in your phone or wherever you keep your calendar. Write it in there like you would a doctor's appointment or a dentist appointment or whatever appointment that you prioritize. Because in my opinion, it's just as important. However, we think of it as like, well, this is something we can do anytime. But if we would actually schedule the time, your likelihood of sticking to something is much higher.
Yeah, you should figure out what works with your schedule, if it's morning or evening, or if you have a flexible schedule, you can go midday, but planning out your routine ahead of time. So like I know depending upon what I'm doing, I make a realistic schedule too for how much time I have. So if someone's super busy and you can only get to the gym 2 days a week, that's fine. But make sure you go those 2 days. If you could do more days and you want to, go ahead, but don't try to do. I'm going to work out 7 days a week, but I only really have time for 3, and then
Right.
you just quit altogether because you get frustrated.
100%. Yeah. So it's hard to give like specific, guidelines when it comes to that because everybody's life is so different. But I think it's important to sit down and really sit and reflect and think when am I going to do this and schedule it just like you would anything else. Whether you have a gym where you can take a group fitness class and there's a scheduled time you can go, write that in. Even if you don't and you're going to a gym where you're working out on your own, and like for you, if you have a flexible schedule, you probably don't need this kind of motivation because you're self-motivated. But if you weren't, and say you were trying to start a workout routine, but you have a flexible schedule, people like you can still fall into the rut of procrastinating because you think, I have all day, I can do it whenever. But really, someone like you could benefit from like, nope, on Monday, my workout is going to be from 2 to 2:45. Like write it in there, I think is super powerful. I'm self-motivated to work out because I love it, but I still look at my calendar each week and I actually literally write in the time I'm going to do it so that I don't get caught up in some task I'm working on and deprioritize it.
Yeah, and people should figure out to stick to a routine. If you're not motivated, some people get motivated by doing like home follow along workouts and they like that and it motivates them because there's someone there. Some people do better with a gym class or partner. Some people just like going to the gym because if they're seeing other people work out hard, they want to start working out hard. So
Right.
I guess figure out what motivates you
100%.
and stick to that. I mean, you could go outside too. You don't have to go to the gym, but you
Right.
could join a running group, I guess, or something.